The Detroit River International Wildlife Refuge stands as a testament to what is possible. It is a symbol of hope, born from a shared vision between two nations. This refuge is truly unique. It is the only international wildlife refuge in all of North America. Spanning the waters and lands between the United States and Canada, it represents a profound commitment to healing a river that was once heavily burdened by industrialization. Its purpose is clear and powerful: to protect the remaining natural habitats, to restore what has been lost, and to bring communities back to the water's edge, fostering a renewed sense of stewardship and connection to the natural world that sustains us all. The scale of this endeavor is immense, a patchwork quilt of conservation stitched together over time. The refuge stretches for nearly 48 miles along the Detroit River and the western shoreline of Lake Erie. It is not one single block of land but a collection of more than a dozen separate parcels, islands, coastal wetlands, upland habitats. It is a place where nature is given a second chance, a place where the slow, patient work of restoration unfolds every single day, demonstrating that urban and industrial areas can coexist with thriving ecosystems. The refuge became a beacon, showing that even in the most developed landscapes we can find space for wildness. In the story of the Detroit River International Wildlife Refuge, Humbug Marsh holds a special place. It is a jewel, the last mile of natural shoreline on the U.S. side of the Detroit River. For decades, this precious wetland ecosystem stood as a quiet holdout against the steady march of development. Its shallow waters, dense forests, vibrant plant life, migratory birds, fish, countless other species. The future of Humbug Marsh once hung precariously in the balance. A plan was put forward to transform this wild space into a sprawling development. High-end subdivision, a marina, a golf course. The bulldozers were poised to erase this last vestige of the river's natural heritage forever. But the people of the community, the local citizens of Trenton and the surrounding downriver area, refused to let that happen. They saw the marsh not as vacant land ripe for development but as a priceless natural treasure that belonged to everyone. A powerful grassroots movement was born from this threat. Local activists, environmental groups, and concerned citizens banded together with a single, unified voice. In 2004, Humbug Marsh was officially protected, becoming a cornerstone of the newly established Detroit River International Wildlife Refuge. It showed that when people care deeply about a place, they can achieve the extraordinary. Right next to the pristine wilderness of Humbug Marsh stood a starkly different scene. For nearly a century, the site was home to a Chrysler manufacturing plant, a place of industry and production. The ground was paved with concrete and asphalt, and the soil was contaminated with the legacy of its industrial past. When the plant closed, it left behind a brownfield, a wounded landscape seemingly devoid of life. To many, it was just another abandoned factory site, an eyesore on the riverfront. But to those with a vision for the refuge, it represented an incredible opportunity for healing and transformation on a grand scale. The dream was to turn this industrial scar into the public face of the refuge. This would be no small task. The first step was a massive environmental cleanup. Contaminated soil was carefully removed, the vast expanses of concrete were broken up, asphalt was hauled away. It was a meticulous and expensive process of detoxification, making the land safe once again for plants, for animals, and most importantly, for people. With a clean slate, the slow and deliberate work of restoration began. The flat, barren ground was resculpted to create gentle hills and swales, mimicking the natural topography of the region. Native prairie grasses were planted, wildflowers were planted, their deep roots helping to stabilize the soil and create habitat for pollinators. Wetlands were restored, providing new homes for frogs, turtles, and waterfowl. Over time, this former industrial site started to breathe again. The green of new life began to cover the gray scars of the past, demonstrating the incredible resilience of nature when given a chance to heal and flourish. Today, this transformed landscape is home to the John D. Dingle Jr. Visitor Center, the beautiful gateway to the refuge. Instead, we can create places where both nature and humanity can thrive side by side. The Detroit River International Wildlife Refuge is a story of incredible success, but its work is far from over. The refuge faces ongoing challenges that require constant vigilance and effort. One of the greatest difficulties is managing a landscape that is fragmented into many separate parcels. Reconnecting these habitats to create a continuous corridor for wildlife is a long-term goal. The legacy of pollution still lingers in the river's sediments, a reminder of a past that we are still working to overcome. These persistent contaminants pose a risk to fish and wildlife, demanding continued cleanup and monitoring efforts. Another significant battle is the fight against invasive species. Non-native plant, phragmites, non-native plant, European buckthorn. These invaders threaten to crowd out the native vegetation wildlife depends on for food and shelter. Refuge staff, dedicated volunteers work tirelessly to remove invaders and restore balance to the ecosystem. This work is crucial for maintaining the biodiversity that makes the refuge special. Despite these challenges, the refuge's importance today cannot be overstated. It is a vital stopover point on the Detroit River, part of a major migratory flyway for millions of birds each year. It provides a safe place for them to rest and refuel on their long journeys. For people, the refuge offers a sanctuary of a different kind, a place to escape the noise of the city. It serves as an outdoor classroom, inspiring awe and understanding in visitors of all ages. The future of the Detroit River International Wildlife Refuge depends on all of us. It is a living legacy that requires our continued care and involvement. It is a promise we made to the river, and a promise we must continue to keep.